Hello, welcome to Record Sports Hotline Live, brought to you by NordVPN. My name is Daniel Cott. I'm delighted to be joined by Record Sports Michael Gannon and Ross Pilcher. Guys, how's it going?
Evening, chaps. Nice to see you.
Not bad.
Monday evening, yeah. Not too bad.
Pilch, it's been a few weeks since we've had you on. It's delightful.
It is. Back. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. The sun is shining through here as well, so everything's good.
And wearing maroon, which I feel is perfect for everything we've got to talk about, Mick.
Entirely an accident. I've got a 4-month-old, so most of my t-shirts are covered in regurgitated milk.
Oh, lovely.
So just a bit of behind the scenes there for our viewers.
Aye. Well,
how's the Bambino going, Pilch, as well?
That's good. She's good. She's just a 4-month sleep regression, which is great fun.
Oh, remember it well. Oh, man. I'd love to say it gets easier.
You'd just be lying.
I'd be lying.
Like I say, in Maroon Pilch, we'll be talking about Hearts' huge win yesterday over Hibs at Easter Road. Both of you guys were there, which is perfect. And we'll mention, obviously, the title race. Mikey Mo's been making comments in the future as well. But I think the best place for us to start, breaking news this afternoon, the PFA Player of the Year, Scottish Premiership Player of the Year. The nominees have been announced, Mick. And for the first time in a while, no Old Firm players.
Yeah, I think it's the first time since about 2011, 2012 or something like that. It's like we no firm winner, I think it is, or something like that. But yeah, 2 Hearts players, 2 Motherwell players. You get Shankland and Braga, the Jambos, obviously Maspanisi and Just from Motherwell. Listen, they those 4 have had absolutely outstanding seasons. I don't think anyone can dispute it. So, and you look at, you're thinking, well, there's no kind of, I mean, Celtic or Rangers could win the league still and have no Player of the Year candidate. But to be honest with you, who would get the vote from one of those teams this year? I mean, I know it's like, it's not who is the best or the most valuable player or the most expensive player. It's who's been the best player this season. And in terms of Celtic Rangers, they've been inconsistencies throughout the season. Nobody's really stood out. I mean, I think Benjamin Negrin's probably the one at Celtic who maybe could have got sneaked in there. But then he scored a lot of goals, but his all-round play has been criticised as well, which I think is a bit kind of silly sometimes.
Not only that, Mick, I think it's now 9 or 10 games since he scored.
Yeah, he's gone off the boil a wee bit as well in that respect. In terms of Rangers, they've had some guys that have played okay through the season. They've managed to kind of mend and make do. But who would you say would be a Player of the Year candidate in that squad? I don't see anyone jumping out really either. Whereas you look at, I mean, Lawrence Shankland, captain Hearts, led the league all season, scored 20 goals this season already?
He's 18 now. 18.
So he's in target to get hit 20 goals again. He didn't get the one. Did he get the one yesterday? Was that given to him, or was it an own goal?
I don't think so. I think it will go down as a horrible.
I think he should have been great in that one as well, right enough. Yeah. We back deal done the damage. Braga alongside him, Pilch, you'll know better than me, but I think Braga's been outstanding. As well, great candidate, good chance of winning it. I like the boys at Motherwell, I must admit. Maspanisi, I think, he's caught the eye because his goals. I just think Elijah Just has been, for me, the best player I've seen this season. I think the wee man has been an absolute joy to watch. He's an intelligent football player, made that whole team tick. I think he's been absolutely sensational. I think, and we mentioned Maspanisi, a lot of talk about him in January and Celtic and all that stuff. Celtic missed a trick. They would look at the wrong guy. Elijah Just was the one she went and got. I think he's been sensational. I think he could go anywhere in the summer. Miller will hopefully keep hold of him, but he's going to a World Cup. I think for me, he's the guy who was getting my vote, to be honest with you, as a Player of the Year. The Football Writers one is a little bit later than the Players one. They do their votes, I think, in about January or something like that. Whereas I think the Football Writers a bit later. But yeah, so yeah, I think all those 4 guys are good candidates. Don't you guys think? I think they're well worthy of their nominations.
No, I definitely. I don't know what you think, Ross, but I think good candidates. I've got to be honest, I'm a wee bit surprised you're going with Just Mick. Not, I think he's brilliant as well. But if Hearts win the league, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Pilcher? Would you go for?
As Mick said, they're probably 4 candidates you would have had in the running. I think it's telling that if you look at, there's a lot of debate when this happens, or who's missed out, who deserves to be in. When you look at the guys that were maybe behind them, it's probably still Motherwell and Hearts players. You're looking at guys like Harry Mill, and you're looking at Elliot Watt, Callum Slattery, Longello, all those guys.
There's in the comments there saying Stephen Welsh, maybe even.
To be honest, I've not seen enough of Stephen Welsh this season. I think there's other guys in that Motherwell team that have maybe caught the eye. I'm not saying he's not had a good season, but the name they seem to be the kind of standouts for them most weeks. But of that four, I think it's come down to between Just and Braga for me. I think Braga's. I know Shanklin scored a lot of goals, but Braga, he's stepped up when Shanklin was out injured. He scores goals. He's strong. He's quick. He's clever. He's been a really, really good signing. It's maybe a flip of a coin. If Hearts go on and win the league, you maybe say Braga, but I think either of them would be worthy winners. I'm
getting stuck in the comments from Kenneth and from Rebel. Negrean obviously did score in the Cup semi-final last week. I take that back.
You sold as a pup with that one.
I know. Sorry, shut there, Mick. But I'm getting stuck for it, so there you go.
I think normally Negrean's numbers, he would be in the discussion. But as Mick said, there's been a bit of a weird kind of perception of him this season, and that, all right, he's doing it. But because Celtic haven't been great overall, it's maybe not seen as... It's hard to describe. It's a weird one because there's such good numbers for a midfielder.
See, the thing is, though, it's sometimes perception and expectation as well. So people expect and hold Celtic and Rangers players to a higher standard. Yeah. And if we don't meet those standards, they don't catch the eye. So would Benjamin Negrean walk into the Hearts team or Motherwell team? Of course he would. He's a Sweden international. He scored 20 goals a season. Of course he would. Would Shanklin and Braga ordinarily walk into Celtic Rangers? Probably this season, yes, they would. This season. But in most seasons, maybe not. Likewise, Masmanisi and Just is Elijah Just a better player? I mean, I'd say better, inverted commas, than a Nico Raskan. Well, Nico Raskan's get caps for Belgium, going to a World Cup. He's probably worth 15, 20 million quid. Am I going to get that for Just? So who's a better player? But because the standards and expectations are all kind of skewed sometimes, so sometimes players who catch the eye, who you don't expect to catch the eye, look better than the guys who maybe just are like an Alan Engels type player, who's again probably worth £20 million and is in theory one of the most valuable players in Scotland, but he's not up for an award because he's, by Celtic's standards and his standards, maybe not had a great season. So it's a prism. You look through it, isn't it? Through a prism. We've seen it before with certain nominations and winners as well. It's holding these clubs, because they're on 40 grand a week or 30 grand a week, they're held to a higher standard, aren't they? And a higher level expectation. So it is a bit skewed, I think, sometimes.
I mean, in the comments, and if you're watching at home, let us know your thoughts on the PFA Player of the Year awards and everything else. We'll be talking, as I say, about the weekend's games too. John says if Celtic end up winning the league or double, Negrean's goals will have been pivotal, which is a really fair point. But see just fundamentally, if you drill it down, Player of the Year, he's not played that well. He's not a great player. I know that sounds, it's like you, Pilch. It's hard to articulate into words how to sum up Benjamin Negrean, but scores goals, but I don't know. Someone help me, guys. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I take your point. He doesn't control games, and he's not a guy. He's not like a kind of a Tom Rogic type kind of number 10 that he's picking the ball up, beating a man, dropping a shoulder and stepping over and putting the top corner. He just turns up and he knows where the goals are. He's always between the posts and he knows how to score a goal. But when things are going against Celtic and the pressures are on, he's not a great at pressing or winning the ball back. These kind of things. But neither was Tom Rogic, right enough. But they're different kind of players. So I take the point. I think he's been a very, very good signing for Celtic. It cost 1.6 million quid, which is not a lot in this day and age. And he's done the business. I think he's been unfortunate that Celtic have lacked certain things around him. And I think Celtic's wide players have been a bit wonky this year and not kept the ball great, which makes him look a bit worse as well, because he's passing the ball to somebody who's losing it and he's not going to win it back that quickly. So then it's caused problems for Celtic. So knock-on effect. I think in a better, stronger Celtic team, he would look better. Like the years gone by, they could carry a Rogic type character who's not chasing about and pressing. I mean, Rogic used to famously be blowing at his backside after an hour when he's only about 26 at the time. So yeah, it's perception and reality, and maybe something's not always matching up.
Well, so see, just to sum up then, you're going with Justin, Mick, as your PFA Player of the Year?
No, I'm not. No, I don't think I am. No, I think. Well, I don't know. I guess that my mind changes all the time. Yeah, I think he's the best player I've seen this season. But I think especially if Hearts win the league, I think Braga is going to go the Player of the Year because of the impact he's made. And I love the fact that Braga doesn't particularly care about reputations or like we're talking about expectations and all that stuff. Doesn't really care about that. Anytime you hear about from him, he doesn't really care about who should win the league or who shouldn't be up there. And all. He just gets on and does his job every week, and he's really effective. He's a cracking little player. He'll be worth a fortune at some point as well, I think. But yeah, so probably I'd like to see. I think if they win the league, keep it with it.
Pilch, what do you think? Who are you going to? Who did you say, Braga or Just? Who would you go for?
Yeah, exactly. Good to see Mick agreeing with me there. If Hearts going to win the league, yeah, I think Braga. It's when you consider he come for the second tier Norwegian football.
It's pretty amazing.
The impact he's had is great, but you couldn't really argue against Elijah Just either. You know, whenever I've seen Motherwell, he's the guy that makes them tick. He's the guy that makes things happen. You can see why other clubs are interested in him. So, as I said earlier, toss of the coin between the two. But if Hearts go on to win the league, I don't think you can ignore that, really.
He's also got the best song of the season, isn't he?
Yeah.
For that reason alone, he elevates him to the front runner status. The fact he's
think he sings it if he wins as his acceptance speech.
Oh, aye. He's got an outstanding chant, hasn't he?
I think it was it you, Pilch, that said to me one day on the Record Sport online desk, it wasn't on Hotline Live, but I said, do you know how much you think you would get for Braga? And you said something, what was it you said? Like 6 million for the player, 1 million for the song. Which I think is a very good way of looking at it.
What the Queen charge for royalties though?
Well, I was going to say, poor old Freddie Mercury might be claiming some royalties, or the estate might be claiming some royalties.
In the comments, let me have a look. Green Machine says Negren would be suited to the system that Motherwell plays, passing through the middle. Gordon says Just has been magnificent, but Braga for me, hogged Hearts through, fought times when Shankland was out as well. Davey says the guys agree that if Rangers don't win next week, it's over for them. We'll come back to that. Chick says Just is twice the player Raskin is. David says Just, he's been class. And John says Player of the Year and Manager of the Year should be decided at the end of the season and not before. I know we talk about this every year when it comes round, Mike, but is that purely just because everyone goes on holiday at the end of the season? They can't get everyone's votes?
Pretty much. They kind of, when the last ball was kicked, most of them jumped the plane. Was mentioned the other week, most of them hit to Magaluf and well, these days it's like Dubai and all, isn't it? They've raised the kind of expense levels of these trips. But yeah, usually they jump in the plane as soon as the season's finished, don't they? Especially the younger lads are right out of town, aren't they?
And there's some players who could be accused of already having jumped on a plane, like Hibs. Am I right, guys?
Poor Hibs. Probably 9 men going overtime on Sunday.
That was my perfect segue into yesterday's game. As I said at the top of the show, you were both there. Like huge win, massive win for Hearts. I almost think it's went under the radar a wee bit, Pilch, just how much or how significant that win yesterday could be.
Oh, massive, especially after beating Motherwell. But then you're kind of looking at, right, okay, this is the serious stuff. You're playing, the rest of the top 5. You're going to be cutting each other's throats. That was huge for Hearts. Just the psychological lift it gives them going into another absolutely massive one next week. It doesn't really matter how they did it. It was just win. And to be fair, in 3 out of the 4 derbies this season, they've found a way to do it, and they almost got themselves out of jail the last time they were at Easter Road. And
that's true.
All right, Hibs did shoot themselves massively in the foot yesterday, but then Hearts get it done and break them down and find a way. And you just kind of felt when they equalised when they did, that was, I think that McInnes said it was like a shot of adrenaline. You kind of felt it was coming after that. And I think they probably just about deserved it in the end, but that's a massive match, especially knowing Rangers had lost as well. I mean, you could hear that. I think Hearts were 1-0 down, and the Hearts ends up giving it, we shall not be moved. Again, that just kind of affects the psychology of the game. They're positive. They can sense something's coming here. So yeah, you can't overstate how big a win that was. That was absolutely gigantic.
What is the mood? Do Hearts fans believe that they're going to do? I mean, a couple of Hearts fans that I know have said, I don't even want to think about it. I just can't even. It's too scary to even think about it. I'm too nervous. But are Hearts fans now going, no, we're going to do this?
I don't know if they'd be saying that, because you've seen how many twists and turns there's been already. I think people maybe get carried away with each week. Oh, this lot of favourites now. Well, they're out of it, and not remembering what's happened previous this season. There's been a new favourite just about every week, but we're getting to the proper business head now. I spoke to Ryan Stevenson the other week, and only said in his column he thought it hinged on the Hibs game and the Rangers game. That's one down. I think Hearts fans will start properly believing if they do beat Rangers next week. I think it'd be hard to see past them from there. But again, as I've said, because it's after the split now and you're playing against your direct rivals, it just takes one result to change it even more now. So I don't think anyone's saying, yeah, they're going to do it. I think would they be favourites? Maybe. I think Celtic are still a big worry for Hearts fans, given they've been over the course before, and Martin O'Neill just seems to find ways to do it with this team. So I wouldn't say they're thinking, "Oh, this is happening," but I think they've gone closer than any one of them would have thought at the start of the season. It's not quite theirs to throw away, but they're in a good position.
Mick, we anyone that listens to the wonderful Record Celtic podcast will know that we had a chat earlier about just how close Hearts are, because they are with tantalisingly close to winning this title. I think if they see off Rangers next week, there's a scenario where if Celtic lose to Hibs or even draw with Hibs, Hearts could be 6 points ahead with 3 games to play. It's essentially all over.
Yeah, I think that's 7 points from the title. I think that's all they need. I might not even require that. I think they're 7 points away. So if they beat Rangers, they knock Rangers right out of the park, and they're just about there. Celtic need to win the remaining games to hang on. And even then, they could go to the last game needing to win and win by 3 or 4 goals potentially. I just think I'm going to upset Pilcher with this one as well. I mean, never mind the jam tarts, the jammy tarts. I mean, the one thing I think. Hearts, I think they've been brilliant this season, right? They have. The amount of games they've won by the odd goal, and they've dug it out, and they've showed. King Kong balls on a weekly basis, right? But they have carried a wee bit of fortune at times. Hibs score and get the early goal. That started quite well on Sunday. Started first 5 minutes or so, looked to the right front foot, but Hibs get the goal, and you think this is really interesting. And then Hibs completely shot themselves in the foot with 2 of the most ridiculous red cards you'll ever see. And you think, listen, it's not easy playing against 10 men and 9 men. It's not. I know, I get it, right? Because it's basically one of those kind of training games. It's like attack versus defence. Hibs just camp in and try and put 2 banks of 4. And that's difficult. And what I was impressed with Hearts was that they actually panicked a wee bit. First half I thought it was a bit panicked. First half they got a wee bit excited and didn't create an awful lot. It was a bit huffing and puffing. When they got the goal to go 1 each, wee bit of fortune, but I thought Shankland did really well. I thought Kayota from the bench was brilliant. Kayota from the bench,
he made a big difference. I thought.
Brilliant impact, great impact from the bench. But again, they didn't panic. They kept bashing away. It didn't create that much in terms of clear-cut stuff, but they kept plugging away, and they were patient, and they didn't lose their marbles, which some teams could do at that situation. They kept using the ball out wide and getting the ball out. And they got their reward with a deflection as well, just to add to their jamminess. But they've earned their breaks. They've earned their fortune, their good fortune, because they have been so resilient, so determined. Every knockback they've had, they've bounced back. Anytime they've took a bang in the chin, they've come back from it. And fair play to them. I just think see that on Sunday. See that the limbs in the end at that way end and all that stuff, and I just felt a bit like destiny calling, you know that. I just like I was saying, I'm joking about the fortune, right? They've earned everything they've got, but a wee bit of fortune, the kind of the nature of the victory. I just think this now starting to look like this is destined to be. So I think it might be fate, might be written in the stars.
See, just going back to the jamminess, this is for both, I guess.
I'm going to. Dale's going to phone me up and give me an absolute blast. I know it.
Well, I know I was about to pour cold water next. I was going to say, look, I think we're all in agreement. They were 2 red cards, weren't they? They were 2 monumentally stupid decisions by Salinger and Paslak. Particularly for me, like, okay, Salinger kind of gets caught and whatever. It was bad. It was a howler. But Paslak, tackling like that when you're already in a yellow card, it's just suicide.
Yeah.
Even his first booking for a guy that's played at the level he's at, it's for needlessly getting involved in a bit of handbags. And to be fair, when you watch it back, his second one could easily have been a red on its own. He's got Ringmate on the thigh with his studs. Yeah, that was crazy. And as you said, Salinger, I think he just panicked. He lost his bearings a wee bit because he takes a touch and then he can knee it, he can do whatever, and he's just thought, oh, there's Kabori, I'll grab it. And I think everybody in the ground could see he was outside the box. It was just because I saw one of the comments there saying, "Oh, ref and linesman missed it." I think they knew VAR was there and they would check it. I think had we had no VAR, I'm pretty confident the lino would have at least flagged to have seen it, because it wasn't a difficult one to spot.
Aye, watching it on TV, I thought right away that's got to be a red card. But
we were high in the stands. It was red card. It was obvious. To be honest with you, I thought the linesman should be flat. I mean, I know they've got VAR as a backup, so what they do is now they don't make a decision. They just wait for their VAR pals to sort them out. But I mean, have a bit of authority, have a bit of backbone, make the decision. I mean, it was blatantly obvious. And by the way, it blatantly was looking at Salinger's face. It was like I said last night. It was like a kid who's handing the cookie jar, face covered in chocolate. Well, what do you mean? Yes, it was. Off you pop.
It was.
It sounds like you've experienced that before.
I've had also cookie jars and sent off many times.
I know the feeling as well. Well, the title race on a whole then, some comments coming in. Let me look at a few of them. Davey points out equally, if Rangers manage to beat Hearts next week, it's wide open again. Paul says, if I'm a Celtic fan, if Celtic drop points at Easter Road and Hearts beat Rangers, then Hearts will be champions. Marzuno says Celtic need Rangers to win next week. Stephen Mason says Hearts beat Rangers, the title is theirs. We were talking about this as well earlier, Mick. Celtic need Rangers to win next week. If Hearts win, it does give Celtic a monumental problem, doesn't it? I think it's kind of odd to say out loud, but just Celtic fans need to hope Rangers win at Tynecastle. It's kind of weird.
I think they need to be cheering them on. I think they'll be cheering on their old firm chums next Monday night. I think they need to be sitting with the red, white, and blue scarves and hoping for the best. I know there'll be a temptation from some to think we'll knock Rangers out the running, make it a two-horse race. But I think it's points on the board now. I think Hearts are probably 7 points. If Hearts can get to 80 points, they're going to be champions. And that'd be another 3 monumental points. I don't think it's as straightforward as some people maybe can out. It's going to be a guaranteed win. That's the case because Rangers for me are a team that struggle to deal with the expectation levels. When they're expected to go and win, they struggle. When the chips are down and they don't have the expectation, they're more likely to go and win, which is why they come back which is why they start playing at 2-0 down. They have done, not just this Rangers team, it's happened the previous years before. When they're 2-0 down and the game's up, all of a sudden they look like Brazil 1970 because the handbrake's off and there's no fear factor. When they go, it happened yesterday, they get to 2 each and then it's the panic stations then expected to go and win. So I don't think Rangers are expected to go and win at Tynecastle next week. I think even Rangers fans are kind of, I'm not saying giving up the ghost, but they're like, oh, here we go again with this team. They're falling when it matters. So I think that it might be the expectation levels are low, and that might free them up. It might make an open. I think it's going to be an open game anyway. I think it'll be one of those knife edge games that could swing wildly either way.
Right.
But I don't think it's a guaranteed 3 points for Hearts by any stretch of imagination. I think Pilcher right. I think there's twists to come. It wouldn't surprise me if Celtic draw at Easter Road and there's 24 hours of wailing and gnashing of teeth of Celtic conceding the title, and then the next night there's a draw at Tynecastle and it's like, well, actually not much has changed, or one of them, or Rangers win, and you think, well, it's actually kind of back to kind of Rangers are in the kind of driving seat again, maybe because they can go, but they've got Parkhead to go to. It's going to be a wild and wacky ride. I don't see it being straightforward either way.
I agree with that, Pilch. I mean, particularly see from a Celtic point of view, this is the exact kind of scenario I could see this particular Celtic team. Just when it feels like things are rose in the garden, Maeda's back, Martin O'Neill's going to lead them to a double. It's this most unlikely title ever. I think it's this Celtic team that could easily let the fans down at Easter Road and then put it on a plate for Hearts potentially.
I think they'd be letting the Hibs fans down at Easter Road if they do that.
That's a very good point, eh?
Yeah. I mean, as Mick said, it's like Monday's such a big game. That's kind of Sunday's almost can be getting overlooked. I don't think a draw's a disaster for Hearts, Rangers, or Celtic next week. As you say, okay, Celtic they're back to scoring a few goals now, but we've seen before with this Celtic team this season, it's just not convincing. It's not. They don't look like the Celtic teams of old. And I think interesting thing, there's a lot of talk made about when the fixtures came out. Oh, why are you sending Hearts to Celtic Park on the last day of the season? With the way things have gone the first week of the split, that might actually be a good thing for Hearts now. If you're avoiding Celtic until then, you might not have to go there and win. Celtic might not have the chance to beat you home to get something. So it's bizarre how everything's just working out. But the one thing I would say for Celtics again is that muscle memory can kick in. They've got guys there who've been over the course before, and the fact that it is so tight, they'll have in the back of their mind, these teams haven't been under this sort of pressure. As Mick said about Rangers, when there's expectation on, the expectation on Hearts next Monday in front of their own fans is going to be big as well. And how do they handle that? They've done it most of this season, but this is maybe a different kind of pressure. You're in touching distance now, so it's interesting to see how they'll handle that, how the crowd handle it, because the nerves are going to be ramped up. Tynecastle can be horrible to play it for opposition teams when Hearts are at it. It can be horrible for Hearts if they're not, and there's that much nerves and anxiety. So that's something that could maybe help out Rangers as well. It's impossible to try and call, but I think, as I said before, if Hearts can get it done next Monday, I think they'll be hard to catch.
I was going to just finish with that, Mick. Do you think if Hearts win next Monday? Well, I was going to say they won it. Obviously, they've not, but you know what I mean.
Well, I think it's it'd be an absolutely massive step towards it. Yeah, because I think they don't need enough 3 or 4 points to get the job done. But I'm just trying to work out. So next weekend, let me get this straight. So next weekend, Hearts fans are going to be cheering on Hibs. Celtic fans are going to be cheering on Rangers.
Yeah, with you so far.
Hibs are going to be supporting Celtic while they're playing against Celtic.
A sea of green and white.
If Celtic win on Sunday, then Rangers might be thinking if they beat Hearts, it might be too late. And they're going to be. They don't know what to support the Monday night. So, let's just get it clarified. This is where we are right now, isn't it? So the Gambles are supporting the Hibs, Celtic are supporting Rangers. The world's upside down. We're all sitting with the pants in the head. It's tremendous. What must we be doing to punters? I mean, that's the thing. When you're a Jambo sitting on Sunday watching the game and have scoring. Yeah, what? That's going to scramble brains all over the place, and likewise in the Monday night. It's brilliant, isn't it?
I agree with both you guys, though. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as anyone. There's going to be something we've not predicted, we've not legislated for, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Don't forget, night before the Old Firm, you've got Hearts going to Motherwell.
Aye, of course. Sorry, I was going to say that, Pilch. Like a couple of people in the comments, Chick was one a minute ago, saying no way Hearts will live with Motherwell. And I do think Motherwell yesterday, I mean, particularly in that first half, I know you guys were obviously at Easter Road. In the first half, Motherwell were just sensational. They ripped through Rangers over and over again. So look, who knows, man? Honestly,
I would point out that Hearts are the only one of the top 3 that haven't lost to Motherwell this season.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Right?
There's always a first time for everything.
It feels like a lifetime ago, but
we'll get back to the jammy tarts again, aren't we? Really?
It feels like a lifetime ago, but Hearts came from 3 down against Motherwell, didn't they?
And almost won it. Motherwell battered them for an hour, and should have been out of sight. And in the end, we probably took a point because Hearts at the post in stoppage time. But
that was this season, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it just shows Hearts just have a resilience this season, even when they're not playing well. They're not at it. They're just finding ways to grind it out. And as Mick said, they're responding to pretty much every setback straight away. They're back up on their feet. So right, we keep going.
Aye.
Well, that's where I think momentum might be swinging towards Hearts and maybe Celtic as well. That all season Hearts have been brilliant at getting late goals. I mean, how many games have they won late on? I think
is it 22 points now they've taken from goals after 83rd minute?
Wow, I mean that's incredible. And by the way, Celtic won't be far behind them, by the way, either. Especially on the Martin Neal's time, the late goals have been a constant theme. And what it means is these teams, even if it is getting tense and tight and it's narrow and it's getting towards the end, they still believe they're going to get a goal from somewhere, by hook or by crook. So that'll be standing in good stead going into the running. The interesting one for me is how Rangers respond to Sunday. I think. I mean,
I was going to come to this, Mick. I was going to come to this. I want to get both your take on Rangers. I mean, that I think psychologically could be a really big blow for Rangers. And sorry, I jumped in there. I'll let you finish your thought before I pace you another question.
It's put Daniel Rule. I mean, listen, you know the knee-jerk reactions we have in this country. So when the whistle goes yesterday, Bombard, we saw it in Hotline Live. Rule's got to go. Time up, no, sack him. I mean, he can still win the title. I mean, I think they've made it hard for themselves. But could Rangers? I mean, Rangers need to win. Rangers could win 4 games and still conceivably not win the title, which is incredible at this point in time. I think he's under pressure now a wee bit. I thought the performance on Sunday the first half performance was alarmingly poor, and I think he's got to carry some of the can as well. I mean, I don't think he coped with Motherwell's style at all. I mean, he's 4-2-2-2 formation. I know he put Asgard in there, to try and be an extra midfield player, but the way Motherwell play with the kind of the false striker set up, and they don't really. It's hard to kind of play against Motherwell because you don't really know who's going to be the man to the middle at times. And you see Maspanisi peeling off to the right, torturing Magoma at times in that first half. I mean, the gaps down that side were frightening. But I don't think Rule identified it early enough. Or I don't think he set up properly to start with. I don't think he identified the warnings enough. But again, so and then at half time, they're 2-0 down, they can go for broke because they have to. And they got back into it with a couple of goals. But then at that point, they've got to kick on and get the result. And they've got to the 20-odd minutes. And instead, the other one get caught. And I know you can get caught in the counter when you're pushing. I know that can happen. But they missed big chances at the end as well. I mean, Chermiti missed a big one. He's got
one at the end with Chermiti and Mikey Mo.
A £10 million striker's got to put that in the back of the net. That's what he's there for. That's his job. I don't sound like Roy Keane, but that's his job. Put that in the back of the net. So Rangers have come up short at a game and they had to go and win. I mean, all the talk about away games and home games are split. They had to win these home games, and that was a game they had to win. But listen, fair play to Motherwell. Again, they were sensational. But the Rangers had to do more. And that first half was alarm bell stuff. And they'll need to find a way to play against Hearts Tynecastle as well, because Hearts will make it a right tough game for them in that match. It's the only thing I would say is that they're quite similar in terms of the both of them are not scared to give the ball away. And don't mind making it a bit of a kind of a bit of a ding-dong lock. They're not shy at going long at times, both of them. So it'll be a kind of game where the possession goes back and forward, and which means that it could literally be anything could happen. It could be any moment, anything could happen. It's going to make it absolutely must watch, but I don't know how much control anyone's going to have over it.
I couldn't agree more. And before I finish my thought on Rangers, let me read some of these comments out to both you guys. Luke says, missed no sitters cost us yesterday. I'm sure many of us would have scored those. AF Scott says, I've never seen a Rangers side get played off the pitch like that against a non-Celtic European side. They were much better in the second half, had a lot of chances to take something. Luke again says, we'll get next season before the chairman gets rid of him if he's not won anything. Joseph says, I think Rangers will turn up against Hearts. And they will go for it. John says, Danny Rose proved himself to be a naive rookie manager. His decisions have cost Rangers the chance of a league title against the weakest Celtic side in decades. And I'll come to that, Pilch, because that's what I was going to come on to, Mick, with Danny Rose. This might sound knee-jerk, might sound quite reactionary. If Rangers finish this season in third, I think Rose will be under a bit of pressure. I think these new owners might look at it and go, look, we're going to plough another 30, 40, 50 million pounds in. I mean, Russell Martin would have probably finished third. Am I being too harsh? Is that a bit too over the top?
It kind of comes with the territory of managing Rangers. If you look at the start they had, it was said a lot, no one could envisage them being in the mix for a title race. But once you're in it, I mean, you're still Rangers, you're in the title race, you need to deliver. That's what's demanded. And if you do finish third, albeit in one of the tightest title races we've had for a long, long time, you're still a Rangers manager that's finished third. I mean, it happened before Alex McLeish when they finished, well behind both them and Hearts, finished well behind Gordon, Strachan, and Celtic. And people, you're not going to look at the league table. That there's no pictures on a league table. There's no pictures on a scoreboard. It's still going to be a third place finish. I don't think they'd sack him. I think he'd get the chance to start a season after a summer because of the improvement that came about when they did appoint him. Mm-hmm. If it's looking like kind of November, December time and they're not looking likely to win the league, they've maybe not won the League Cup, then I think questions will come. I think it would be an incredibly harsh decision to get rid of him, but I think absolutely it would come under pressure and questions would be asked if he takes Rangers to third place. It's part and parcel of being the Rangers manager.
I think Pilch is right, Mick. I mean, Marzuno says in the comments there, November as usual. It does feel like you're on that Rangers merry-go-round for.
It's nothing. The season will finish yet. By the way, I think there's still to come. I think if he doesn't win the league, I think it could be in bother. I mean, obviously the Americans have got the Leeds United angle as well, and they've not been shy of getting other managers. I don't think they're going in the right direction. I mean, they nearly sacked a manager who got promoted. Because they wanted different directions at Leeds. So I don't think he'd be bomb-proof if he doesn't win the league. I think there could be a serious look at it because a decision made in January to back him, and because the thought was this title's there to be won, and Rangers also, and it looks like they could go directly into Champions League if they win the league this year. and the riches that brings. If Rangers don't win this title this year, it would be I don't know, over dramatically in times of the world problems, but it would be a disaster in football terms for Rangers to not win the league this year. To go and spend that kind of money, to go and re-up and tool up again in January. And by the way, Celtic and Hearts have both dropped a lot of points since January. The opportunity was there for Rangers. It has, and it's still there, but it was definitely there for them to kick on and go and win this title. I thought they would do. I thought that the January signings, they've been unlucky. I mean, Robin's getting injured was a big blow. I think he's been really good.
He looks like a good player. Aye.
Yeah. That was a sore one for Rangers. But I just think the door was open for them to go and claim it. Because, listen, as much as I think Hearts have been incredible, 80 points is not a title, a vintage season in terms of points totals. I mean, usually you're talking 90 points is what it does. So, it's so Rangers, even after the start they had, Mitchell Martin drew 6 his first 8, drew 6 and lost 1 his first 8 or something like that. I mean, a pretty bad start, right enough, but not completely unsalvageable, especially given the way that the other two teams are dropping points. So if Rangers don't get this done and don't get that Champions League automatic or don't get the Champions League, finishing third is a big blow in terms of the European aspect as well, because that'd be Conference League, wouldn't it?
And McKinnon in the comments says, think of the Hearts investment if they win the league.
Well, that's turbocharges Tony Bloom's vision. I mean, he's not short of a bubble to right enough, but it certainly does inject it to another level. We've seen it with some of his other clubs. I mean, you get Brighton, who are now in the verge of Champions League. Union St Galway, who are back in the hunt in Belgium, aren't they? I mean, Tony's in for a good few weeks, isn't he? I saw he's skipping out the game yesterday, but he's in for an exciting few weeks. Particularly potentially money spending a few weeks for his clubs. I just think, but in terms of Rangers, I mean, Hearts want to win this title. I think Rangers might need to win this title. I don't mean that in a financial sense or all that kind of nonsense, but I just think that the door was open for them, and to fail would be a huge disappointment, and it might be the manager pays a price for that.
The reason why I share that opinion, Mick, as well, it's summed up well in these comments. David Bradley says, if Celtic win the league with the state we've been in, he might be gone. And Joe points out, will the next Celtic manager have the largest transfer kit in Celtic history? And going back to McKenna's point there about the investment Hearts will make if they win the league, I just think these Rangers American owners might look at it and go, okay, he got us back into the title race, but he's finished third against a pretty rotten Celtic team, as you've just outlined really well. The chance was there, big time. The chance was there. But who knows? The last little bit in Rangers, guys, that I wanted to very quickly get your take on. Mikey Mo, he's been talking today. He kind of is definitely not ruled out wanting to be a Rangers player next season. I thought yesterday when he came on, although he wasn't fully fit, he made a big difference again. And I think he's a brilliant player. Do you think he'll be back at Rangers next season? I get there's lots of ifs and buts, but they've got to do everything they can to keep them, surely.
Kind of seen this with players before. It was Vaclav Černý last year. It was like, they need to do everything. I know he was a different situation, that he was out of the price range, but it depends what happens with Spurs. I mean, if Spurs go down in the Championship, he might be the sort of players like, oh well, we need to cut our budget here. We need to make do a little bit. He's a good young player. He's shown he can do it up at Rangers. Let's give him a chance. And if he's got the choice of that or play for it, depends what happens at Rangers. Well, if Rangers in the Champions League, then that's going to be a big carrot. But it depends what other offers he's got on the table, because other clubs will be looking at seeing. You forget how young he is. If he can handle that, we'll take a chance and we'll let him play down here, and that might be more appealing to him. So, I think if Rangers don't win the league and finish third, I can't see him being there next year. I think he'll try something else.
I honestly think he's a brilliant player. I mean, Chick in the comments says he's overrated. I thought when he first went at the start of the season, I was like, why would you bring someone like Mikey Mo in? He's okay, but you get Finlay Curtis there and stuff. As the season's went on, I think you can really see, Mick, that Mo, in my opinion anyway, has got a wee bit about him. I think he could be a really special player.
Yeah, he is only still a kid. I mean, he's only 18. Yeah, he's but yeah, I think he's. It took a bit of time to find his feet, but once he gets settled, he's been a really good player for Rangers. If they can get him back next year, it'd be when I watch. I mean, I think you're right. I think it depends on. I mean, Champions League might be a good selling point, but a loan deal, they're not going to buy him. I don't think they could buy him because you're buying potential, and he's got potential. His ceiling is so high. You're talking 25, 30 million quid probably for that kind of level of ceiling. I'd like to see it. It's like Pilcher as well. It depends what Spurs. I mean, Spurs go down. Is he? I mean, is he going? Is he kind of player you want in the Championship to help him back up? Maybe that's the maybe that's rather than going to loan somewhere to stay there and help them get back up. Does he go back out and loan somewhere else? I don't know. It's a lot. I think it's when he's keeping his options open, rightly so as well. He doesn't know where his parent club's going to be, what division they're going to be in. Doesn't know what the plans are for him. It might be they want to go loan him out. They might think, let's go and loan him out to somewhere in Spain or Germany, give him a year of European experience. I don't know. But if Rangers are in the Champions League, then that's a selling point as well. So yeah, there's a lot can happen. If Rangers can, I think Rangers should ask the question, that's for sure. But whether or not they can get done, it's too early to say, I think.
And I always say this. The last thing, and I keep remembering things.
Colombo, just one more thing.
One more thing. This actually is the last thing, then I'll let you get your dinner. The young players, obviously mentioned Mikey Mo there, he's been nominated for the Young Player of the Year, along with Falkirk's Barney Stewart, Finlay Marshall of Arbroath, and Luke Graham of Dundee on the picture there. Before we wrap up, guys, who you going with? Or I'll start, but I'll give it to Barney Stewart. I think that return with his background, 18 months ago, he was at university, seen him a couple of times. I think it looks like a really brilliant player. I think I don't think he will go to the World Cup, but I think he's unlucky not to. I'd go with him.
I'd be inclined to agree with you as well. I've been impressed with him. Don't forget, he did well on loan at Dunfermline as well. When he took him in there, I think he got 8 goals in something like 14 games.
Something like that.
Come back to Falkirk and what's seen as an unfashionable team this season, scored a few goals for them. So I've liked looking at him. Moore's been really good, but he's playing with, I don't know if you can say much better players. He's playing in a team that costs a lot more than Falkirk with more expectation on it. But I've liked Barney Stewart. He's been a good feel-good story for this season.
What are you thinking, Mick? Who are you going for?
Yeah, again, I mean, Mikey Moore is arguably the best young player in the country. Is he the player of the year? I think Barney Stewart, he's saying after the season, he has lit it up, hasn't he? I don't know much about the boy at Arbroath, I must admit. I've not seen an awful lot of him. I like Luke Graham. I think he's a boy who's going places as well. We're talking about seasons.
He's a good player.
I think, and I know there's been talk about Rangers and Celtic, stuff about him as well. I think they'll need to be quick. I think because he is still only what, 21, 22. I think he is going places. I think his ceiling is really high. I think he will go to the top as well. A good lad. I think he is. I think he's got a bit about him. But in terms of the year, you always like your strikers, don't you? You like your attacking players to get a player of the year. Can't be getting defenders. Can't be getting spoilers. Can't be giving it to guys that ruin the football rather than create it.
So if Dundee go down as well, you can't be a relegated defender getting player of the year.
Exactly.
Very fair point. That's why you're on, Pilch.
That's not the goalies here, Dan. That's different.
the union rises again.
They're a protected species.
You always need a goalie. But no, I always like
it's not Raphael Salinger.
Not this weekend. It was a good season night. That was definitely Gannon-esque, that one. But no, I'll go for Barney as well.
Sorry if you're listening to that. This Raphael Salinger, I know he probably does. Apologies, we won't have Pilch back. You can see that brings us to the end of Monday Night's Hotline Live, brought to you by NordVPN. Ross, Mick, it's an absolute pleasure having you join me. Keith Jackson is on his holidays at the minute. He's been in touch from his over 70s cruise. Says he's all going well. He's playing shuffleboard today. Says hello, guys. So I hopefully be back soon.
Shuffling at the bar right enough. No, when you play shuffleboard.
There's an image for everyone. But we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Hope you can join us then. But for now, thanks very much for watching, guys. Thanks again.
Thanks, Daniel.
And be back in. Cheers.